All right, hello. So another video from the Brookings Arts Council. As always, my name is Shelby, and today I'm going to show you how to draw like a really cute little baby owl. And so as far as supplies go, I have just white paper here. I have my colored pencils because I prefer colored pencils, but if you prefer crayons or colored pencils also, or markers or like anything else, like feel free to use those as well to color things in. I do also have a pencil, mechanical or not mechanical work just fine, and then an eraser for if I make mistakes. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. And so first here, we're gonna draw the two really big kind of eyes. And so they should take up like a pretty large portion of the paper. Not the whole thing, obviously, because you have to draw like the rest of the owl. But they do touch in the middle. And they are pretty round. If they're not completely round, like that's okay, but there we go. Mine got a little flat on the bottom, so I'm just fixing that up. I have a eraser on the back of my pencil as well. And I'll show you. So yep, just two circles that touch in the middle is all we've got going so far. Okay, very good. So those two circles. The next step is to do kind of that like iris. So I'm gonna add another set of circles inside. Try to get them centered as best as you can. All right, that's what we got with those. Just like another set, they kind of look like donuts. And then the next is to add like the pupil, so you can actually color in that circle, and then a highlight. So the highlight I'm gonna do first, and then I'm gonna draw the pupil around it, because the highlight typically kind of goes and obstructs the pupil a little bit. So I'll do one and I'll show you so you don't get too far and then be like, oh, rats, I messed up. Okay, so we got this cute little owl with pupil. Okay, so we got the pupil, and see the highlight, it kind of obstructs it. So I didn't want them to like be touching, I wanted them overlapping, but the white highlight would be on top of that pupil. So if you draw that first and then go around it, you don't have to try and erase, because you're just not gonna be able to erase to get the exact white of the paper again. And the thing with the highlights is they need to be like the same size and like location and like typically shape. Don't quote me on that because that's not always the case depending on the photo, but like they always are typically in the same like area of the eye. So since I did mine on, because it's like my view is like the right hand side, I did it the right hand side on both. When I like pick it up and show it to you, it's backwards, so like yours it'll look like it's on the left, but either way they're in the same spot on both eyes. It doesn't matter like right or left. Also, you want your pupil to be like pretty close to the same size, otherwise it's gonna look, your like owl's gonna look like cross-eyed kind of. Okay, so there are those eyes, see those. There we go. Okay, eyes are done. Okay, the next part is to add in that little beak, which is just a triangle between those eyes and then two little nose holes. That's what we got with that beak there. The next is to draw in kind of the belly. And so the belly actually starts like past like the pupils on each of the bird's eyes, and it's like relatively short and like kind of fat. If you want yours to be like more proportionate, that's certainly fine, but I think that they're just like a little bit kind of funny looking when they're really short and fat. So essentially we're drawing like a U. I drew mine really light, but you should still be able to see it. So really kind of short and fat there, really kind of hard to see, sorry about that, but you'll see at the end. The next is to add in the like kind of white like underbelly that they have. So just drawing like another U inside that one you already did. And I'm gonna go over the first one, so that you can see it a little bit better. There you go. So you got that little belly. The next is to add kind of that top part of the head, because we're missing like a forehead and like those little, I don't know if they're ears technically, but ears. And so those are also like the same kind of thing as like the beak. They're triangles that are kind of round, and then in the middle like that. So you draw, it's like a U, and then like down like sticks to make those ears on top. So just like so. And like, it's up to you whether you want to do like wings on the sides. I like to add them because I feel like it looks like it's like missing without them. And you can add like, if you want like feathers, that's what I like to do. Or if you think it looks fine, like I'm not an owl expert, so I like to add those little kind of feathers on either side. I also want mine to have like really kind of cute eyelashes, because like I want mine to be like a cute little girl owl, and like maybe like a bow up on top. Okay, that doesn't, it's not really on its head, but I'm gonna reset and try again. Okay, so for a bow, if you want a bow, wherever you want the bow, it doesn't have to be anywhere that I tell you to. It's like a triangle with its edges like puffed out, like that, and then like a middle piece, and then again. So I'll do that, and then like my middle piece is like kind of like a rectangle with its edges puffed out, if that makes sense. And line like another, and then I'm gonna erase like where, because it would be in front of the head, not behind it. Okay, unless you have like a clear bow. But so that's a bow. Sorry, my cats are like wrestling on the floor underneath mine. If you hear hissing and things, they love each other, they're both fine, they just play a little bit rough. So that's that little bow in the hair. And then the last kind of step here is to do some little feet. It's really kind of up to you if you want like rounded toes or like spiky toes. I'm really kind of partial to the rounded toes just because like the wings and everything else are rounded. And so basically they're just almost like clouds, if you've ever drawn clouds. Little kind of feet down at the bottom there, like that. You can do them pointy too. There's nothing wrong with them being pointy. I like to do them round and then like add like a little like sharp like talon, like where they would like grip things. But again, like that's optional too. Cool. So that's what we got. And then I am going to I'm gonna cut mine out when I'm done, and I'm gonna paste it on black paper so it looks like it's like hanging out like on a tree like at night. And so for that to work, I need to like beef up my eyelashes so that they don't like get cut off. And also like I need a tree branch, because then I'll color the tree branch and just cut it off like all together, so I don't have to worry about these like toes falling off. It's a weird kind of description. But the main kind of thing with the tree branch is you want it to look like the bird is like on it. So you don't want it to just be like holding on with his toes. Like you need it to be like pretty substantially on the branch. So that way all the way across. And I always like to add like a little extra kind of like twig with like maybe like a leaf on it or something, so it doesn't look just like dead and sad. And it's not just like a stick. Like, what is this log like in the water? Like, is it in a tree? Like, I don't know. And so, yeah, and like maybe some like wood kind of grain on there too, which is again drawn really light, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. But yeah, so that's what I got for today, and I'm just gonna cut it out. So I'm gonna cut it out like it's sitting on this log, and then I'm gonna paste it on black paper so it looks like it's hanging out at night. If you want and to get like super fancy when you're coloring it in, you can do kind of those like Zentangle designs that I've done before. It's basically just like fun extra like patterns, like pattern and line. If not, no worries. But that is what I got for you today. As always, my name is Shelby, and it's been great. I hope you enjoyed drawing this cute little owl for fall. But all questions and concerns can be directed to the Brookings Arts Council, like either email or Facebook, anything like that. But it was great. So yeah, have a good night, and you'll see me again next week.